Hi, I'm Laura Ingram, Vice President of HR Services for AAIM. We've been bringing you a series of short videos on keys to effective talent acquisition, a critical topic for your business success. I'm here with Betsy Cohen, Executive Director of the St. Louis Mosaic Project and an expert in marketing and regional economic development. The Mosaic Project is part of the St. Louis Economic Development Partnership. Its objective is to make St. Louis the fastest growing major metro area for foreign-born by 2020 and to retain and attract foreign-born of all skill levels for economic prosperity. We're going to talk about what our members are facing in terms of supply and demand of foreign-born workers in the region. No matter what city you're sitting in today, this is an important piece of the talent acquisition puzzle. So Betsy, many of our members are facing significant challenges finding talent in a number of areas. What do you see as the biggest talent gaps that are not being met by the U.S. workforce today?
Well, data shows that there are many openings now in the science, technology, engineering, and math, particularly engineering jobs, IT jobs, and some of the bioscience jobs.
Yes.
And those are ones that we know there's a lot of international talent that has been developed in those fields, which is very important.
Okay, so when we look at college students and university students, what do we have there in terms of talent to meet those needs now and into the future?
The majority of international students are from China, India, plus others come from special countries with special high-tech skills, such as Turkey. We also now are seeing an increase in Brazilian students that often also have a lot of high-tech skills. A lot of the growth has been in the graduate programs, even more so than in the undergraduate. About 35% of the undergraduate students have STEM degrees, but actually over 50% of the graduate students are in the STEM fields, which means they are ripe for being evaluated as talent for that missing STEM talent in our job pool.
And so I've seen some studies that clearly show success of businesses and cities that are able to effectively engage the foreign-born workforce. So in your experience, what are some of the benefits to organizations?
Well, there are four key reasons that businesses want to engage the foreign-born workforce. First, if you have global procurement. So, for example, if a company is sourcing in China, you may be interested in having an international student or an international hire that can help procure in China. Second would be if you are expanding globally. So one of our local companies is now expanding in Spain. They just hired an international person that has experience in Spain and in the United States. Third would be if you have an ethnic customer base. So some of our banks, for example, are trying to serve diverse populations. Therefore, if someone has that ethnicity or that language, that can be an advantage. Last would be the STEM fields, particularly IT, where we know that there can be 10 to 20 times openings versus the candidates. So you might say that would be a place where if we have international talent, it could be worth some of the extra trouble and cost to hire them for a STEM job.
It makes sense.
These are the reasons that it would lead us to think that if we want our hiring to be important, we can then put our resources toward looking at the talent that we have and retain, attract, and develop that international talent in the market.
Very good. What really needs to be done to keep more of this talent in the U.S.?
It comes from an understanding about how the 1-year OPT, which is optional practical training, and then 3 years of OPT STEM extension can work to the advantage of your company. There are several ways. One way is that you could use a 1-year opportunity for someone who would be there just for 1 year in talent. Or you could have a 3-year assignment for an international person with both people knowing, the company and the individual, that it's not going to go beyond 3 years, but still if you had a person for 3 years, that would be a long time in certain jobs, and you would know that they would then return to their home country. Or you could use that 3 years to evaluate the person and say, if they've done a super job, I may want to go for the application of an H-1B longer term visa, and you would have several opportunities with the April lottery to go for that person for a longer term H-1B because you would have experienced their work and you would know that you really want them. So when that international talent or companies say that, oh, it's too costly, that's why I don't want to deal with a visa, the answer really is not the cost. It really has to do with the fit and the value that someone brings and the lack of understanding about the reasons and the ways that they can manage that talent and have that dialogue between them. It may cost $4,000 to $5,000, but you're going to get a very loyal person with very low turnover rate because that person is really loyal to you for sponsoring a visa, and they're not going to leave for a higher cost, higher opportunity. Yes. You have them for loyalty as well as their skills.
Yes. That makes a lot of sense, and it's not really a huge investment when we look at the challenges we face in the talent market today,
Correct.
but we're already having to invest in any case, really. So I thank you for joining us today, Betsy. This is really very helpful for our members, and thank you for joining us. In our next segment, we'll talk about how to attract and engage that foreign-born workforce and what mechanisms are in place to help access the workforce. So AAIM continues to be your partner for effective talent acquisition. We're here to help you understand more about talent acquisition solutions and to be a resource at any level that you need. Just give us a call or email us if you want to know more about how we can help you with effective talent acquisition. Thank you.